Rob Brown is MD of PR company Staniforth. He's also the author of a book called Public Relations and Social Media. He's in our Manchester studio. Rob, why has she got so many followers? How has she been so successful, do you think?
I think she's quite charismatic. She's an interesting individual. She's also an ex-PR person herself, so I think she understands about communications. I think the other thing that she's very good at is communicating with people directly, and this is a new form of access for people.
She also cottoned on fairly early, didn't she?
Yes, I think she's been doing it for probably getting on for 10 months now, which is fairly early in the cycle. Twitter's only been around for a couple of years, so yes, she did. Interestingly, actually, Gordon Brown himself was doing it before, or certainly people in his comms team under a Twitter feed from the Prime Minister, so he cottoned on even earlier, but didn't stick with it.
No, well, I suppose it's very difficult, isn't it? Because you are limited with what you can say. The number of words you can use is limited. So how profound can you really be? I mean, we know she's been to the G20 and she's had dinner on an organic farm, but it doesn't really tell us much that profound, does it?
Well, it's 140 characters, so I've heard people describe it as sort of the haiku of communications. It is limited, but you can link to other websites. She uses it to link to her blog, for example. So you can convey quite a lot of information. Its brevity is actually one of the great advantages because it means that people don't have to spend too long reading what other people have to say. So it's a unique form of communications in that way. And I think some of the examples that you used perhaps don't give the greatest insight, but if you do follow what she says, it's actually a very interesting look at what's going on at the G20 summit from somebody who's right inside and very close to the heart of the action.
And President Obama was using it when he was just Senator Obama in the run-up to the US election, but David Cameron, I think, has been rather dismissive of it. Do you think that might change in the run-up to our general election?
I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating to see how it changes in the run-up to the election because people know that social media is going to play a part. It played a huge part in the US presidential election. In fact, Barack Obama used it as a massive fundraising exercise as well as a way of engaging directly with his electorate. So I think the political parties, the leaders are all going to be looking at it very closely. And I would think that Gordon Brown's comm staff are looking at what his wife is doing with some interest at the moment.
I'm sure they are. Rob Brown, thanks very much for talking to us.
Pleasure.
You're watching BBC News. The time is 13 minutes to 2. A reminder of our headlines. President Obama